All right, part 3 of my long weekend of wrestling coverage. Um, for predictions wise, anyway. WWE Evolution. Boy, has WWE done a pretty bad job of, promoting this show and actually building, like good storylines heading into it. I don't think that the matches are going to be, bad in any way. I think there's going to be some really good matches on the card. It's just, I wish they put some more thought and effort into, doing this show instead of like, oh, we need to like counter program AEW for the weekend. Um, and plus, my memory serves me correctly, I believe there's a Beyonce concert that exact same day as well. So, it's just gotta use your brain sometimes. But enough of me and my complaining. Let us get into the matches on the show. Let us start off with the Battle Royal, where the winner will receive a world title match at Clash in Paris. Now, there's two names that I think have a feasible chance at winning this. It is either going to be Stephanievaquer or Nikkibella. It's going to be one of those two. Man. This one, I'm going to lead with my heart on. And I'm going to say Stephanie ends up getting it. Because, I thought about it in my head, and Tiffany versus Nikki at Clash in Paris does sound intriguing, but I really do think that you could make a future star in Vaquer winning this. So that's why I say Vaquer wins the Battle Royal. So yeah, Stephanievaquer wins that Battle Royal and goes on to face, the champion of her choice. Moving on to the No Holds Barred match, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Now, if you saw my not Money in the Bank predictions, my Saturday night's main event predictions, you would have heard me said that Seth Rollins is probably going to be the only person holding a Money in the Bank briefcase that's going to win their match on the weekend. Well, that's because I'm thinking that Naomi is going to lose this matchup with Jade. Because out of the two briefcase holders, I'm betting that Naomi's probably going to be the one that holds on to it for the shortest amount of time. Like, I see her cashing, this puppy in at SummerSlam. And whether that be screwing up, I think it's going to be mainly focused around screwing Jade's plans of winning the championship, but I'm thinking that Jade is probably going to win this No Holds Barred match at Evolution. Moving on to the 4-way for the women's tag titles. Raquel and Roxanne Perez, of course, of Judgment Day. The Kabuki Warriors representing Raw. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss representing SmackDown. And Sol Ruca and Zarya representing NXT. This one just felt like, we're going to throw teams together. Now, granted, this one might have been, changed a little bit because of Liv's injury that happened here recently. But again, this just it feels very much slapdashed, and again, probably because of her injury. But I still think this will probably be a really good match. I do want to see the Soul Snatcher hit on somebody because I think that finisher is really, really, really cool. But I do see Judgment Day walking out still women's tag champs. Moving on to the triple threat for the women's intercontinental title: Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria. All three of these women have beef with each other. I think it's going to be very physical and probably going to be, I'd put money on it now, probably the best match of that night. There could be, some arguments for, the other two world title matches on that show that could rival it. But, we'll see. But just on names alone, I think this one might steal the show. And I'm thinking Becky will probably walk out still champ. Because I think Bayley and Lyra will probably cancel each other out in trying to take out Becky, and they'll take each other out, and Becky will probably end up capitalizing. So that's my pick. Becky walking out, still women's IC champion. Moving on to the NXT women's title match, we have Jacy Jayne versus Jordynnegrace. Now, the winner of this match will actually go on to Slammiversary in a title versus title match against Masha Slamovich. And then this is just me, and I would assume a lot of other people would agree with me on this, that Jordan's probably going to be winning this matchup. Because her and Masha, they've wrestled each other before, and it was really, really good. And so there's that chemistry already built in there. Not to say that, Jacy Jayne and Masha Slamovich wouldn't have a really good match, but the potential of seeing that matchup again, now under really cool and really interesting circumstances, I would think that you would want to do that. So that would be my pick. Jordynnegrace wins the NXT Women's Championship. Whether that she has help from her tag partner from Great American Bash, Blake Monroe, remains to be seen. But my assumption is that Jordynnegrace will win the NXT Women's Championship. Moving on to the women's world title match, Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. Now, and this is tough because, one, as much as we all love Io as women's world champion, she's really not done much since Mania. She's maybe had a couple of matches, and that's it. They haven't put her on TV at all since Mania. And then of course Rhea, she's still face of the division. She's still, top of the heap. Even without the championship, she's still top of the heap. And so my assumption is the status quo will go back to what it was, with Rhea holding or regaining the championship, I should say, from Io, and everything will be as it was. I wish I could say they're going to do more with Io's title reign after this match. I just don't see that happening. I'm thinking Rhea's probably going to win that championship off of her on that show. And finally, we get to what I'm assuming will be the main event of the evening. Tiffany Stratton puts her WWE Women's title up against the legend Trish Stratus. This match is really, really intriguing because, you know, two wrestlers wouldn't necessarily say cut from the same cloth, but, you know, very similar, I would say, in a lot of ways. Um, and this one, I think, will be very, very interesting. Not only to see how Trish does, but also to see what Tiffany reaches into her bag and pulls out during the match. But in the end, though, I do believe that Miss Tiffany Stratton will retain her championship in that instance. Um, as much as I would, like to see what would happen if Trish regained the title, I don't see it happening. Um, and I'm thinking that Tiffany will still remain women's champion. Maybe we might get a little tease of a Naomi cash in during the match, maybe. But if that does happen, I highly doubt that she will cash in. Like either Trish or Tiffany will end up stopping her. But yeah, I'm thinking that Tiffany is probably going to end up retaining her title. But there you have it. That is my predictions. Those are my predictions for Evolution. It is going to be a very long weekend of wrestling coverage, starting with All in Texas, Saturday night's main event, and then ending with Evolution. Of course, the review for that show will be up on my channel soon after the show is done. So be sure to check in on that. But in the meantime, guys, be safe out there, and I will catch you guys next time.